Hey everyone, this is Brian from ActiveMelody.com. Well, it's Christmas season, and I love Christmas music, and so I wanted to pick a classic Christmas melody this week and do kind of a bluesy, kind of upbeat version of it. And so I ended up picking Jingle Bells. I figure that's a melody that we all know, and it's very basic. It also works perfect for a lesson because there's just a verse and a chorus. And so that's what we're going to learn. We're going to learn both parts to Jingle Bells. And I'm going to show you how to play everything that I played in the intro, note for note. Now I'm going to break this lesson down over 2 videos. So in this video, we're only going to learn the verse. But if you want to learn the chorus, as well as download the tablature and the jam track, the MP3 file that you can practice along with, it's missing the guitar part, so you can try and play it up to tempo. You can get all of that over at ActiveMelody.com. Just look for EP079. The Jingle Bells lesson. Alright, let's go ahead and get started in part 1. Alright, so as I mentioned in the intro, you can play this on an acoustic or electric guitar. I'm obviously playing acoustic, and I'm playing on my Alvarez MP079. It's a little parlor, little smaller body style guitar. And you'll see I use this guitar on most of these videos where I'm playing acoustic. I've also got, on some videos I'll play on the EP069, which is a same exact body size. It's got a pick guard, and it's a little darker wood, but it's anyway, they're both the exact same size. They're just made from different wood. So this is the higher end one of the two. It's got a nice pearl outline, and it's made from some, like I said, some different types of woods. But if you're in the market for a good acoustic guitar, check out Alvarez. Check out these little parlors. I mean, I'm partial to them, but they have this really awesome mid-range tones. You don't get a lot of bass, and it's not too trebly. It's just like right in the middle. Perfect for my ear anyway. Great for blues. And I don't get any, Alvarez isn't paying me to say that. That's really from the heart. So, so anyway, all right, so the first thing that happens in this version of Jingle Bells is this little intro. And I wanted to have an intro as a nice break, something to start the song with, but also something, it works nice in a jam track too, to kind of break up the, as you're looping through this thing, a nice way to break it up and to get back to where you're at. It also gives you a nice place to do a little improv. So that's kind of what's kind of nice about having that. And if I were playing this live, I might start the song with something set, but then each time in between I would make up my own little solo. You know the key that you're in. Well, you will. You're in the key of E. So you could do something in the E minor pentatonic scale, for example, in those 4 bars, and it would work great. So we are in the key of E, and I am using a pick, and this is, it starts off with this, it's got 4 bars of this little intro, and the way that I do it is I start here, and I apologize that I don't have fret markers on this guitar, so I'll do a good job and try and call out, make sure that you understand where we are, so you don't get lost. By fret markers, I mean the little dots that are usually on the 3rd, 5th, 7th, so forth. Okay, so I start with my middle finger on the 3rd fret, 2nd string, which is right here, and then I'm going to slide up to the 5th fret on the 5th fret, 2nd string. And here's how it's going to sound. So we're only going to play strings 1 and 2, and you'll notice where I actually ripped that off from Stevie Ray Vaughan. That's a Pride and Joy lick. But that's kind of where that comes from anyway. And I thought it was fitting for this. So anyway, I start here. Now the strumming pattern is different from Pride and Joy. So anyway, we start here and we slide up. Now what you're doing is you're actually playing 2 E notes when you're here. So 2nd string is an E note, and the open 1 string is an E note. So, but playing them together gives you this nice fat sound, and it really sounds cool. The strum pattern with the right hand is down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's just alternate picking, down, up, like this. Okay, so we do that twice at the beginning. There's 1, and then there's 2, and then I played. Let's get that part. So all we do for that is we just take our middle finger and we slide back to the 3rd fret. Again, we're only playing strings 1 and 2 here. So that's 3rd fret, then we go down to the 2nd fret, then we take it off the fretboard and play just strings 1 and 2. So there's what you're wanting to do so far. Again, you're only playing strings 1 and 2. That may be a challenge for you to do those alternate picking and just hit those 2 strings. You know, in the beginning, if you're not used to doing that, you'll probably accidentally hit the 3rd string. But just practice trying to tighten up that, you know, kind of laser focus on those 2 strings. And then the next thing that I did was I went, and for that, my middle finger comes down to the 2nd fret, 3rd string, and I play just that note. Okay, so just that note there. And then I play the open 2 string. So let's put it in context. So we have down, up, and then I do a hammer-on. Watch this. And what I'm doing there is I'm really playing strings 2 and 3, although you could just play string 3. Either way will sound right because they're both part of this chord. But I'm going to play strings 2 and 3, and I'm going to hammer on to the 3rd string on the 1st fret, like this. So it's... And then I come down, hit the low E note, and then that's just an upstroke, because what I'm making there is I'm making the E chord. So that's just the beginning of the E chord. See, I let my other fingers fall into place here. So I can play low 6, come up and do an upstroke and grab 1 and 2 again. 1, 2, and 3. All right, let me back up now and we'll get that intro. So we have... Alright, and that's what I'm playing in the intro. It's also what I'm playing to get back, you know, as we loop through the jam track. I do one little twist on it that makes it a little different the second time through, but we'll get to that in the next video. So, okay, so that's the intro. Now, let's get to the melody. So that's the part where you start to recognize where we're at. So I'm using a combination of the pick, and then I'm using my ring finger with my right hand. And so it's using these 2 fingers at the same time, and I'll try and get at an angle where you can really see what the right hand is doing. Let's get the left hand, let's get the fretted notes first, and then we'll focus on the right hand. So I start by playing, using my ring finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret, and then my middle finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. So they kind of straddle that fret there. They're skipping the 2nd string. And then, so I just take that shape and I'm going to slide it up 2 frets. So this is the 2nd fret. We're going to slide it up to the 4th fret. And really this is played with a series of double stops. So that's just a double stop. And I have a lesson. If you go to Active Melody and look through the lessons, you'll see I've got a couple of lessons actually on double stops. And double stops are when you're playing really just 2 strings at once. But, you know, here's things like... in blues, you know, those are double stops. So that's how we're starting the melody. All right, so we start it with just that. We're coming up to the 4th fret, back to the 2nd fret, and then we're going to push down with just our pointer finger on the 1st fret, 3rd string. We're going to play strings 3 and 1, so we're playing those together. And then we're going to go ahead and put these 2 fingers down, our middle finger and a ring finger, so that we can complete the E chord. And we can play that part of it, which is playing strings 2 and 4. So, all right, so before I think some of you may be getting confused here. Let me explain what the right hand is doing. So that's the fretting with the left hand. Let's get into the right hand. So the right hand, when I'm doing the pick, any of the notes I'm playing on the 3rd string, I'm playing with a pick. Let me scoot up a little here so you can really see what I'm doing. Okay, so when I start that, you can see I'm just picking that. Now, You see what the ring finger's doing here with the right hand? So any of the 1 strings are being played with the ring finger. Any of the 3 strings are being played, the 3rd string is being played with the pick. So you can see what's happening. That allows you to play 2 strings at once. And it allows you to, really, when you're doing double stops, that's the way to do it. You can, and I have seen guitar players go, you know, bouncing back and forth, but you see all the extra movement, and it's just not necessary. It's pretty easy just to take advantage of that ring finger. Okay, so the rhythm of it is, or the timing of it is, and I'm going to call out the string numbers. So it's 3, 1, 3, 3, 1, 3. These 2 at the same time, so it's 1 and 3 at the same time. 1 and 3 at the same time again. So. And then remember I said to go ahead and complete the E chord here. And now we're going to play strings 2 and 4 at the same time. Using the same technique. The pick goes down on the 4 string. The ring finger goes down on or plucks the 2 string. And then after that I went and played a down up with that completed E chord just to give it a little bit of rhythm. The nice thing about this too, I didn't mention this, is that this sounds great by itself. I actually thought about creating this lesson without a jam track because it really works. You know, it would work by itself. So that's kind of cool. You got the jam track to keep you in time and all that, and you know, have a little backup band, but you could play this totally on your own. Okay, so we've got the let's go all the way back to the intro now. So we have, and then we start the melody, or the melody of the rhythm, or of the verse. Okay, now the second time through, it's exactly the same. That part, everything is the same up to that part, but then when we play this, we change it. I'm playing an A chord here with the left hand. So the way that I'm making that A chord is I'm pushing down. There's 2 ways to do it. I like to just cram all 3 fingers here on the 2nd fret. So my ring finger's on the 2nd string, my middle finger's on the 3rd string, my pointer finger's on the 4th string. And that's how I make an A chord, because it allows me to keep this open 1 string to ring out. You may want to, some of you may do that with a bar chord. You know, that way, just barring the first 4 strings. You can get away with it either way. But the point is, you're going to play strings 2 and 4. So just like you did the first time, you played strings 2 and 4. The same pattern with the right hand for the second time. The only difference is you've changed what the left hand is doing. Now you're making that A chord. Now after that, then you're going to do a down-up strum on the A chord. So in context, it sounds like this. There's the E. There's the A. Starting to make sense to your ear. And what's cool too is you're playing a little bit of lead and a little bit of rhythm. Strumming some chords, and you're also playing a lead with a harmony by doing the double stop thing. So it's kind of nice. Okay, so then the third time through, we're going to change it a little bit. We're going to play it up here. So let's talk about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our middle finger. This is the 4th fret on the 4th fret 3rd string, and we're going to slide up to the 6th string, which is up here. And I know that's confusing if you can't see the fret markers, but you have to trust me. This is the 6th fret. So from the 4 to the 6, and then we're going to take our pointer finger and push down on the 5th fret 1st string. Okay, and again, we're using the same technique with the right hand. Just pick on the 3rd string, ring finger on the first string. Okay, so that's the first thing, and then the second part goes. So that we've already done. So that's just these two strings straddling the 4th fret, strings 1 and 3, and now straddling the 2nd fret, strings 1 and 3 again. Then I'm going to play a B chord. So it's just a B chord, and that's how I'm playing it. You got barring the first 5 strings on the 2nd fret, and then I use my pinky. Now some of you may want to use your ring finger. In fact, most people do it with their ring finger there, but barring the first 4 strings with this finger, or this finger, and then the first 5 strings with this finger, and you play just those middle 4 strings. So that's a B chord, and I'm just playing, when I'm pinching, I'm only pinching strings 2 and 4 again. So we have, and then I do this little chord strum. So it's just the same pattern. So, all right, from the beginning we have. One other thing you may want to do, just to kind of spice it up a little bit when you're playing, is to do this little walk down. Instead of playing it so straight, like that, you can go. You can see what I did? I just went. And you could do that every time. You could go like this. But that's just another way to play it without sticking straight to the melody. You're not being so robotic about it, and it gives it kind of a bluesy feel. And I can't remember, I think I might have done that in the intro, but anyway, that's totally up to you if you want to work that in. Okay, so then we got to the B chord, so then I played the laughing all the way part. I went, and I did this differently. This is where I'm kind of breaking from the melody. So let's learn that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start, this is the 5th fret right here, and I'm using my ring finger for this. 5th fret, 1st string, and as soon as you pick it, you're going to slide it up to the 7th fret. 7th fret right here. So we have, and you're going to play it 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's just down, up with the right hand on the pick. Then we're back to the 5th fret, 1st string. Then ring finger on the 7th fret, 2nd string. So we have, okay. And then I played this little bluesy thing. It goes, and for that I'm going to put my pointer finger down on the 2nd fret, 2nd string, and my ring finger down on the 3rd fret, 1st string. I'm playing both of those at the same time, and when I play them, I push it slightly sharp like this. Hear that? Really, the string that you have to try and push is this one, the 1st string. But you don't have to do that, but listen if you don't, it just sounds flat. Versus, it just gives it a little more blues. So those are the notes. The open 1 string, the 2nd fret, 2nd string, and the open 1 string again. So we have, watch the picking pattern with the right hand is down, up, and then to make the timing work out, and for a little bit of extra emphasis, I started here on the 3rd, I went from the 3rd fret, 2nd string, and just slid up to the 5th fret, 2nd string to match that note. So it goes like this. Alright, so let's back up and play. I'll skip the intro and we'll play the melody up to that point. So we have. Okay, now we're going to repeat, but to get back, as soon as I match this note, I'm going to go ahead and take my finger off the fretboard and play just the open 2nd string, which is a B So, and then watch what happens when I slide back in. See, it's the same note. And it kind of makes it flow together. So, hear that? Then we're right back to the melody. And that was just actually kind of luck. I didn't plan this out, on paper or anything. It just sort of worked out that that note and that note are the same. But I thought that kind of worked well for this. So then we repeat it. Now the third time through it goes. We've already got that part. That's where we start here on the 4th fret, 3rd string, and we come up to the 6th fret on the 3rd string. Our pointer finger goes down to the 5th fret, 1st string. It's the same as before. That's the same as before. That's the same as before. Now this part's different. We're going to come up here and play this chord, which is really just a B chord, but you're playing it up high. And we're only going to play this on the top 3 strings, so it's pretty easy when you don't have to make a full bar chord. You're playing 3 strings. So I'm just going to bar the first 2 strings on the 7th fret. So we're all the way up here at the 7th fret. First 2 strings on the 7th fret with my pointer finger are barred. And then I take my middle finger and I'm going to push down on the 8th fret, 3rd string. And you can see all that is if you visualize the bar chord for the B, it's the same top 3 notes. You're just not playing the rest of them. So you're just playing the top 3. And I find myself using those top 3 strings, the chord that comes out of the top 3 strings all the time. It's nice because it's real easy to jump to those chords. And that's how you'll see in the next video when we play the melody for Jingle Bells. That's all just a series of chords, but you're playing a lead out of it. It's kind of cool. But all played on the top 3 strings. It's just a bunch of chords played there. So anyway, all right, so let me back up and play where we're at. So we're up to this point. Now, instead of playing, which would be the melody, I wanted to do something different. So I did this series of double stops to walk us back down the neck like this. I thought that sounded better. And that's just a kind of an improv way to get back into position. But here's how I'm doing it. So we played that B chord, right? Up here, again, as a reference, this is the 7th fret. So after I played the B chord, I slid back into the B chord like this. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to do a series of picking with the 3rd, using a pick on the 3rd string and using my ring finger on the 1st string. So pick on the 3rd string, plucking the 1st string with my pointer finger. Again, that's that same B chord. Now we're going to slide that shape down 2 frets. So now this is the 5th fret. So we have... Now we're going to go back to this position just like we started. And we're going to slide that down 2 frets. And then we're going to come down and play just that, which is the pointer finger on the 1st fret, 3rd string. It's just part of the E chord. But again, I'm only plucking strings 3 and 1 using that alternate picking, or sorry, the hybrid picking that I showed you. So again, that little walk down. Now when I played it, I don't know, it's happening pretty quickly. That I know I did. When I came down to here, I can't remember if I was able to grab both strings at the same time. That's what you'd want to do. But I think I might have, in the intro, I might have just played that note. And then I got 2 and 2 and 2. But it's up to you, but those are the notes that I'm playing, or that I played in the intro. You could do something else. You could play the melody straight, if you wanted to. So alright, so those are the pieces. Let's go ahead, let me back up. I'll play everything, including the intro, up to the end of the verse. So here we go. We have... And then the turnaround chord is just a B7th chord, and the way that I did it was I just used my pinky on the first string 2nd fret and my ring finger on the 3rd string 2nd fret. Just play those top 3 chords. I'm sorry, top 3 strings. And then we'll go into the second video and I'll show you how to play the melody. But that's it for this video. Make sure you go to activemelody.com if you want to watch the second part, and look for part 2. And the lesson number again is EP079.